welcome to Vlogmas Day 7. I think I've missed Day 6, I do apologise about that. But anyhow, it's a cold and wet and windy evening here in the UK. So I've just lit the log burner downstairs, so I'm going to make it quick up here and may carry on a little bit downstairs if the lighting allows me to do so, because it's far warmer downstairs. Because obviously with having the log burner on, I don't have the heating on in the rest of the house. So I think it's like something like 7 degrees. So today I'm wearing my throwback sweater by Andrea Mowry. So this, I think I knit this a couple of years ago, just before we went into the first lockdown. Yeah, I just love this beautiful pattern, and I've got some of the wool left over because I did knit it in this West Yorkshire Spinners wool, and it's from the Croft range, and this one is called Stony Breck. So I'll bring that a little bit closer. So that's the light beigey bits. I've forgotten what the brown was called, but the blue was called Sea Field, and that was the blue, I think, because I've just pulled it from that wool. Probably all come tumbling out in a minute. I think I've got another Stony Breck. So I think the idea was I was going to knit a matching shawl to go with the cardigan, but I never got round to that, so I'll have to think what I want to do with that. But yeah, and I've forgotten what the green was called, but I think they're named after islands. It might be in the Hebrides or Shetland, I can't think. But anyhow, I do apologise about that. But yeah. So and it hasn't got any buttons on this cardigan, and it's got this beautiful, I think it must be 4 by 4 rib, so it gives it that even chunkier sort of look and feel to it. But yeah, this really is toasty, so thank goodness for that. Right, I've had a little trip to Hollies Haberdashery today. Braved the weather. And went out of my car because, if you remember, I was making this dress, View D, for my granddaughter, and I wanted to make it with this fabric. Now initially I bought this fabric from Hollies Haberdashery to make a project bag, because it's a craft cotton. But as you know, you can make clothes out of craft cotton. In fact, the cotton's thicker, so you get a good quality garment. But then I decided no, it'd look unusual as a dress, but I didn't have enough, so I've been out today and bought another metre. So while I was there, because you can't just go in Hollies and not buy, so I bought a couple of patterns while I was there. I mentioned this before to you, but on the 10th of December in the UK is Christmas Jumper Day, and if you wear a Christmas jumper, then you donate £2 to the Save the Children UK fund. And last year, I think we're looking at upcycling jerseys, and this year a post was on Instagram suggesting that we upcycle jerseys again, sweaters, jumpers, whatever you want to call them. And there was a post on with Mr. and Mrs. Hinch, showing their jumpers, and they'd like customised them for Christmas. So I thought while I was there I'd get a pattern for a simple sweater. So I have got one, I think it's Ellie and Mac. I've got the half pipe tee buy them, which is useful for little boys. And I saw this one today, and it's a Simplicity 1332, is it? Yeah. And I thought that would look good for my granddaughter or my grandson, because what we can do there is, if you haven't got enough jersey, you can just put two halves together. I mean, I suppose you can do with any t-shirt pattern or jersey pattern, can't you? Just what you would do is cut out the top half and add an extra 5/8 of an inch on for the seam allowance there, and the same for that piece. But anyhow, it's got little skirts and leggings, and I like this little cardigan with a frill on, and I thought, yes, I think I'll buy that. So I purchased this, and this is, now I'm not quite understanding the sizes. It says 3 to 8, but that's USA, so I don't know. I'm going to have to go by the measurements. And it does say there's a 25-inch chest, so I think that's what I would do for a 5 to 6 year old. But yeah, I thought that would be a good stash buster for my knit fabrics. I also purchased this one by New Look, 6504, and again it's I've got a pattern similar to this by Steffi, but it's just a simple like pinafore dress. I mean, you know, you can use cord, anything, warmer fabrics for this time of year, and she can team it with a little jumper. And then for the little baby, I've got something again very similar. It's New Look 6576, and again it's a simple little pinny dress. So yeah, quite versatile patterns. And I'll just show you a little update on this one. So I started this one in a tartan fabric I found, and it's going to blow out a bit, but never mind. It isn't this raspberry red, it's a very deep red, and it's a tartan. I've popped the sleeves in, and obviously you can see that I have now attached the dress. But guess what I've gone and forgot to do? I was thinking of putting a sash on, and really it should have gone inside the body, so a bit annoyed with myself there. I mean, this view didn't have the sash, but I decided I was going to put a sash in. And I've just done a very simple zip fastening at the back, you know, where you sew. What I do is I sew the back skirt as a normal seam, and then when I get to the bottom where the zip would go, I then change my stitch length to the longest it'll go for basting stitch, and just sew it all together, and then I sew the zip in, and that way you can get quite a neat closure. So yeah, so just got to put the collar on and hem the bottom, and that's finished. So yeah, now what I did do is bought some more stuff while I was at Hollies, because it's not the sort of place you just walk in, is it? Now I don't know what you think about this, but I bought this tartan ribbon, and I thought when I've made the dress I was going to make a bow at the front of the dress for this to go on here. Let's put it the right way and see what you think. You see, there's bronze, there's little bronze stars, and there's like bronze in the tartan there, and I thought that would just pick that up. So see, you know, what do you think? Do you think this bow would look nice at the front of the dress? So the other thing I did is I bought some piping. Now this is quite big piping. This is the thinnest he had, and I bought some. It's like a stretchy bias binding. Yeah, it's shiny this side. The shine isn't going to pick up, but what I thought was, I'm saying it's, yeah, I mean I could actually just take one line of this out, but I'll leave it in. So if I sew that piping in, it's still going to give me, it's not going to be too thick, the piping isn't. And what I thought, and I bought some plain white cotton, so what I thought was, is when I make something similar with the Peter Pan collar for the baby, I would make out of this fabric, but it would have a white Peter Pan collar, and I would edge it with the piping and the red. So I thought that might look nice. So we'll just have to see. But this will be my next project after I finish this tartan dress. Now, interesting. This is interesting. I've never seen this. It's by Gutterman and it's called Mariflex. And when you do we do a zigzag stitch when we sew with jersey. With this, you use a straight stitch when you are sewing your jersey. You don't have to do a zigzag, because this is specially designed. So I thought that sounded good. I think it retailed about £3 something, and I bought this green because I've got some green jersey in my stash, you know, scraps, which I thought I'd run up for the boys, a couple of little sweaters. So this is what it is. So it'll be interesting to sew with this Mariflex. I was told that you still use a ballpoint needle, but like I say, you use a straight stitch, and so this will give you the stretch, this thread will. So we'll see how that goes. I bought some best press as well, because I want to sew some of my quilting scrap fabrics together, and I believe you get a good crisp seam with the best press. And the last thing I bought was this. I couldn't resist. Giant thimble. So it's a thimble craft container by Hemline, and it's made of porcelain. So I thought, you know, it'd be really cool to keep some of my craft things in. So, you know, like your scissors and what have you. So yeah, I like that. Couldn't resist it. So yeah, that's who makes it, Hemline. Right, and funnily enough, as you know, I go through the days of the week for different crafts, and today is Tuesday, so it's Thimble Tuesday, so it's quite apt really, isn't it? So there we go, my giant thimble pot holder. So I'm going to do some cross stitch now. I am at the moment, oh yes, Denise. So Denise from Black Ribbon Studio has started a stitch along on the 1st of December, and she's stitching, it's Mickey Mouse, and there's a cup of coffee. I'll pop a picture up of this cross stitch. And she started it as a Christmas stitch along on the 1st of December. Now, you've heard of people having like red work wools, or they'll have a sampler wool in cross stitch. Well, I want a coffee one for my kitchen. So I thought, oh yeah, that looks lovely, that does. I've decided I would join in with the stitch along. So I went to the garden centre on, I think it was Sunday, and I purchased the rest of the threads that I required. And you won't believe how many. I mean, I've got some out of my stash, but just look at all these. There must be about 20. And these are the different nuances and colour. I mean, you might only use a few of these, you know, this thread. And then you're using maybe, I mean, these look the same colour, but they're not. See if it's picking up. I don't think they're the same colour. No, they're not. This is a 754 and this is a 758, but you can see now there's a little bit of difference. Some of them are very subtle changes in colour, but I can't wait. I think they're lovely. These are my colours. I love browns and golds, so I'll pop them in me thimble pot for now, and I'll join you downstairs where it's warmer.
Gaze upon the sky, Christmas on my mind, somewhere from a place up high above. There's a song of love traveling afar, seeking us to warm up every heart, to be our light into the night. Bless us with a moment of serenity. Let it come to bloom, joyful Christmas.